where he have seen oppressions, and he witnessed it because he was living in the palace of Pharaoh himself, and have seen how his mother was worried about him. Allah returned him to his mother, and witnessed the wrong the Fir'aun and his people were doing to his people. And the reason he left Egypt, because he was worried for his life. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him back to Fir'aun, the one who he ran away from, and from his oppression, and seek refuge somewhere else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling him to go back to Fir'aun. For Musa alayhi salam, I said before that he has a lot of fear in his life. And he expressed his fear here, قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُكَذِّبُونَ. So, oh my Lord, I'm worried that they might deny or reject me. He's worried about rejections. And there's no prophet whom Allah have sent to any group of people, and he was completely accepted. With except Yunus alayhi salam, in the beginning was rejected, but Yunus alayhi salam was frustrated with his people, and he left and fled actually his people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought him back to speak to the same people that he ran away from, and all of them have accepted Islam. But there's no prophet did not have enemy for a human being. For every prophet was enemy for that prophet. But no prophet had it easy at all. All of them were challenged, all of them were persecuted, all of them was tortured and accused, and all kind of things happened to them. Then Musa alayhi salam now speaks about what are the deficiencies he has. In other places, he says that he wanted to have Harun because he cannot compete with the elegancy and giving the message with other people, and he was said that Harun afsah minni lisana. He said Harun alayhi salam more eloquent than me. But here he says, وَيَضِيقُ صَدْرِي وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَيَّ هَارُونَ. He said, and so my heart will be broken and my tongue will be tied. So send Harun along as a messenger, along with him, as a messenger. Right. There's a psychological aspect of this. You know ضيق الصدر? You know what ضيق الصدر means? Did I explain that last week to you? You know what ضيق الصدر? You know what ضيق الصدر is? What is heaviness of the chest, narrowing of the chest? Have you heard that experience? When you feel literally your chest is tight. When you have an anxiety, you feel heaviness in your chest. You know that? An anxiety causes you heaviness in your chest. Sometimes sweat in your hands. Sometimes a pain in your chest. It's not a physical pain. You go to the doctor, go to the hospital, they check you, your heart is fine. And then somebody, a wise doctor say, maybe you have an anxiety attack. That's how they feel, that person feeling that. Well, Musa alayhi salam said, I'm worried if I go to Fir'aun, يَضِقُ صَدْرِي. I become angry, stressed, and I will not be able to speak. Therefore, I will not be able to, to be able to convey the message. Which is amazing thing about leadership of Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam, through this story of Musa alayhi salam talk about his vulnerability and his shortcoming. And actually, you see later that Musa alayhi salam, although Harun is the one who had presence when people went wrong, but Musa alayhi salam took the responsibility because he was a leader. For Musa alayhi salam saying to Allah, talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying to him, وَيَضِيقُ صَدْرِي, my chest become tied, become, ضيق الصدر. If they reject me, then I will have this anxiety, this I become upset, stressed, angry. وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي, then I will not be able to speak. We come to know that Musa alayhi salam had this notion of responding quickly and so forth. Yes, this kind of sometimes get angry quickly because of what happened when he saw the two guys are fighting, and one of them his people and one from the Egyptian, and he stood with the man from Bani Israel, children of Israel, and he caused someone to lose their life. But Musa alayhi salam, he knows himself very well. He knows his limitation. يَضِيقُ صَدْرِي وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي, my chest become tired, become heavy, and I will not be able to fluent, I will not be able to speak. What do you need? He said, فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَيَّ هَارُونَ, have Harun to be with me. In other verses, he said, وَاجْعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِنْ أَهْلِي, I need a helper from my own family. هارون أخي أشد به أزري وأشركه في أمري. He said he wants Harun alayhi salam to be his deputy or his assistant, or to be with him so that he can strengthen his position with his brother and also consult with his brother. He needs somebody to talk to regarding this mission. وَأُشْرِكُهُ فِي أَمْرِي. And this is very important of the idea of having a sounding board. You heard of this concept? Sounding board? You need somebody to like bounce idea on. Am I doing the right thing? But he says, although he's a prophet of Allah, but he wants somebody else to consult with. Like Rasulullah was a prophet of Allah, but he consulted people all the time. Especially in the matter of that regarding the community. It's not a matter of revelation. He did not consult with a revelation, but when in a matter of tactic and strategy, he consulted people. Now, what he's worried about, what Musa alayhi salam worried about, why he this anxiety, confronting Pharaoh. Explain further, he said, وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنْبٌ فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونَ. He said, and I also committed, in their mind, I committed a sin or a crime. They've been after me, they're looking for me, and I'm worried they might kill me. He was talking to Musa alayhi salam. Whom he talking? This conversation with whom? With Allah. He's talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This conversation with Allah. He's telling Allah, if I go, this is going to happen to me. يَضِيقُ صَدْرِي وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي, my chest become heavy, I will not be able to speak fluently. Does Allah know all of that or no? He does. But that's the beauty of prophethood. That he talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala executes him. That's what he wants. He wants Allah to give him help. But Allah knew all of that in advance. He knows that يضيق صدره ولا ينطلق لسانه وكذا. Like Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Taif, what did he say to Allah? Allahumma ilayka ashku ضعف قوتي وقلة حيلتي وهواني على الناس. Allah, to you I declared my vulnerability, my loss of strength, the humiliation people have given me, they humiliated me. Allah knew all of that. Right? Zakaria alayhi salam, when he asked Allah for a child, what did he say? Rabbi inni, اشتعل الرأس. He said, what? إنه هان العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم يكن بدعائك ربي شقيا. He said, oh Allah, I become very fragile. I'm becoming old age. physically become weak and have my hair full of a gray hair. I'm an old man. I'm worried about not having children. Did Allah knew that or not? Allah knows that. But this is a dua that you do that humble ourselves and soften our heart. Say to Allah, oh Allah, I'm sick. Oh Allah, I'm poor. Oh Allah, I'm this. Oh Allah, I'm vulnerable. Oh Allah, I'm scared. Allah knows, but He soften your heart and make a dua more, have this kind of intensity. Because you explaining your position that Allah already knows. For He says, the Rasulullah said, whom you have left me with. Oh Allah, they humiliated me. People of Mecca have kicked me out drove me out of Mecca. People of Taif stoned me. Why should I go? Why should I seek refuge? And Allah knows that. Allah knew all of that. For Musa alayhi salam said that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What Musa want, alayhi salam? He want comfort from Allah. He said, I'm scared. My heart, my chest would get tied. I would not be able to speak. What should I do? Allah said, قَالَ كَلَّا. Allah said to him, Allah says, responded to him, certainly not. There's no way. So go both of you with our signs. We will be with you, listening. Allah said, I will be there listening with you. You go, take my sign I give you. What the sign he had? This surah does not give you detail like Surah Al-Qasas. We spoke about that last week. Here telling you there's ayat. In Surah Al-Qasas, Surah Taha, tell you what kind of ayat he had. What kind of ayat he has. What Musa had as the form of miracles or signs. The staff become what? Snake. And his hands become what? White. Light on him. Without sickness. Doesn't look sick. من غير سوء. He said, take this ayat and go to Fir'aun. And I'm with you listening. إنا معكم مستمعون. إنا معكم مستمعون. I'm with you listening. In our other ayah, يفرض علينا أو يطغى. He said, we worried, oh Allah, about him transgress and oppressing us. What Allah said? قال إني معكما أسمع وأرى. I'm with you, listening and seeing what will happen. I'm watching. I'm sending you. I'm Allah. I will see when you talk to him. I will see what he responds to you. Don't worry about that. Subhanallah. There's something called ma'iyya. Have you heard of this concept? Have you heard the concept? Have you heard of the concept called ma'iyya? Ma'iyya. Ma'iyya is feeling the presence of Allah. Ma'iyyatillah. Feeling the presence of Allah in your life and our life. He says, Rasulullah said to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when he worried about the people being at the door of the cave, قال لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Don't worry, Allah is with us. Allah is with us. إن الله معنا. معية from word مع. Allah with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون. Allah is with those who have taqwa and those who do ihsan. Allah is with them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ. He said to all of us, Allah is with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala support you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran ما يكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا هو رابعهم ولا خمسة إلا هو سادسهم ولا أدنى من ذلك ولا أكثر إلا هو معهم إلا هو معهم أينما كانوا. Allah is with those people. Like if three people have a private conversation with them among themselves, Allah is with them. 5 people have conversation among themselves, Allah being the 6th. This ma'iyya. Inna Allah ma'a sabirin. Allah with those who are patient, have perseverance. Okay? This concept of ma'iyya is a very important concept. Have you ever felt lonely? You know what lonely means? Even the people around you, but you feel lonely. Loneliness is one of the pandemic that human experience. People feel lonely, that they don't feel supported, they don't feel people with them. All of us, we need social circle. We support the people. But one of the things that bring comfort to the person is that Allah knows our effort. Little effort you make, Allah does not look to that and put it to waste. That's what I was talking about today, of theory of change. Musa alayhi salam, Allah sent him to change the condition of Pharaoh and the people. And it was a mission of transforming people. But Musa alayhi salam said he needed tools to make this change occur. He cannot be able to do it by himself. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He provided for him Harun to be with him, He equipped him with miracles, signs, which is the tool. And the third, He told him, don't worry, I am with you. Which it means that you have to have the means able to do things, the social support, the means, the tools to do things, but also you have to believe that Allah is with you. Because sometimes we fear failure, or fear to fail. But if you have all the tool, any position you take in this world, in leadership, or in your home, or in your job, or anything you want to do, if you have the right equipment, right tools, and you get the support you need, even if 2 or 3 people supporting, and then you believe with trust in Allah, because one of the things in Khutbah al-Jum'ah, because I was rushing to finish the khutbah, I forgot to mention one of the aspects of change, seeking change, is trusting in Allah. After we do everything in our hand, then we have to do tawakkul, trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With Allah is the outcome. We are not responsible for outcome. We are responsible for the effort. We're responsible for our efforts. But we're not responsible for the outcome. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. I'm going to do my best, whatever the outcome becomes. But I have to try it. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam, he put all the list of his worries. And you could have imagined, he says, I'm Allah sending you Fir'aun. Let's go. He said, I will go because I'm worried about the following thing. This job is heavy. He's sending me to the man that I was scared of. I need kind of emotional support. I need like encouragement. By the way, Allah could have put the sakina in his heart. We didn't have to hear all this dialogue. Why this for us? Allah could have said, go to Fir'aun, and all of this conversation doesn't have to say, Allah put the sakina in his heart and comfort, and then Musa goes, alayhi salam, talk to Fir'aun. But Allah telling us the vulnerability of Musa alayhi salam as a human being, because we are not prophets. We are not prophets. For we have to know it is normal to have this kind of worries in heavy mission. Right. What should they say to Fir'aun when they go? فأتيا فرعون فقولا إنا رسول رب العالمين. Go to Pharaoh and say, we are the messenger from the Lord of the all worlds. رب العالمين. There's something called تفسير القرآن بالقرآن. I don't know if you heard that. القرآن يفسر بعضه بعضا. Quran, you read, take one ayah and then explain another ayah. The other ayat, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the summary. The other ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them how to talk. Here he told them what to say. Here in this ayat. By the way, there's no repetition. Most of the time, some certain thing being said in this context had not been said in other places. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them what to say. We are the messenger of the Rabb al-Alameen, the Lord of the worlds. Rabb al-Alameen, who? Rabb al-Alameen. Who's the Lord of the worlds? Fir'aun asked him in the other ayat, قال فما رب العالمين. Who's Rabb al-Alameen? I am the Rabb. Because Fir'aun thought he is the Lord. قال أنا ربكم الأعلى. He said, who's that? قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين. The Lord of heaven and earth and whatever between them, if you were to believe. Then Fir'aun asked him in the other surah, قال فما باب القرون الأولى. What happened to the ancient civilization? قال علمها عند ربي في كتاب لا يضل ربي ولا ينسى. Allah had the record of it. Allah does not forget. What happened to those people? But in the other ayat, he told them how to speak. He told them here what to say, but he told them how to say it. فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ يَذَّكَّرُ وَيَخْشَى. You speak to him softly, that might remind him and might soften his heart. He might remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he's telling them the how. It is not what to say, but it's how to say it. You know how many times the problem is on the method of saying things, not of what will be said? Many times. Even the mothers, fathers talk to their children, children talk to their parents. It's not what you're saying. It's how we're saying it. If you scream at somebody and speak softly to somebody, it's different. You know? Sometimes people, even what they say, their facial expression contradicting what they say. I love you. You don't show so much love. Oh, you love me? You know that I love you, but you're not smiling. When the verbal, non-verbal communication contradict the verbal communication. The facial say one thing and the tongue say another thing. You know what I mean? It is very important that it's how we say things. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Say kind things to people. الكلمة الطيبة صدقة. A good word is an act of charity. You know? Therefore, it's not have been, you know, many marriages suffer because of communication. Many relationships suffer because of communication. Because people don't know what to say, how to say it, when to say it. When and how and what. Sometimes they get the what, they get the what correctly, but they get the when wrongly. They said it in the wrong time. Sometimes they get the when and the what correctly, but they get the how wrongly. What should I do? You told me talk to you at 6 o'clock, I talked to you at 6 o'clock. You told me to tell you things, I told you, but you're telling me in the wrong way. You're annoying me. It's when and how and what. It's very important. Now, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that Musa alayhi salam is angry, he's upset with Fir'aun. Fir'aun committed aggressions, oppressions, violated people. And Musa alayhi salam can go like, you! No, Allah said, don't. He said to him, فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. Speak softly to him. Don't go and scream at him. لَعَلَّهُ يَذَّكَّرَ وَيَخْشَى. You know, sometimes we say things to get things out of our system. You know that? But not to help the situation. We're not in the business to change the other person's mind in front of us, but we want to vent and to say the horrible thing to the person, to say that it came out of the meeting, I cursed him, I said this, you know what I did? I just gave it to him. Okay, and then what? And then what? We have this tendency, don't we? We get it out of our system. Now, he says, tell him, we are the messenger of the Lord of the worlds. And أرسل معنا بني إسرائيل. In other ayah said, ولا تعذبهم, the other surah. Send with us free, let the children of Israel go with us. Set them free. Now, the response of Fir'aun. How Fir'aun responded to this message? قال ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك سنين. Fir'aun then says, listen, protested what Musa alayhi salam said to him. Did we not raise you among us as a child, and you stayed several years of your life in our care? Now, what Fir'aun is doing here? What he's doing, what he's saying to Musa alayhi salam. Yes, I have favor on you. I raise you, boy. Try to tell him that. Don't talk to me about God. There's some people use this argument of age, of prestige, of power, of favor, to try to silence someone who would speak the truth. You? I gave you the first job. I did for you this. How come you telling me this? You were nothing, I made you something. Subhanallah. To silence somebody. For he said to him, أَلَمْ نُرَبِّكَ فِينَا وَلِيدًا وَلَبِثْتَ فِي عُمْرِكَ سِنِينَ. We raised you, you stayed with us. Okay, then what's the point? He went further, he said to him, and you have committed this wrongdoing, the wrong action. وفعلت فعلتك التي فعلت وأنت من الكافرين. And remember what did you do to the guy? You took the life of the guy. You've been ungrateful. You are ungrateful to him. Meaning to Fir'aun and his people. what Musa alayhi salam should say to Fir'aun. You could have dismissed what Fir'aun is saying. How did he address that he have a record? He telling him, you have a criminal record with us. He telling him that. He did this, your past look like this and that. Would Musa alayhi salam have to respond to that? He said, قال فعلتها إذا وأنا من الضالين. He said, Musa alayhi salam responded and said, I did this kind of action, then lacking guidance. I was not guided, I was misguided. I was not a prophet. Now Allah have guided me now. I'm a different person. You know, when a person converts to Islam, all their past sins have been what? Wiped out. Whether Umar, whether Khalid bin Walid, Amr ibn al-As, everyone accepted Islam. They hurt Muslim before. Allah wiped out the record. Give them completely a second chance. By the way, society in general doesn't do that. You know that. People do the time, but they cannot have a job. You hear what I'm saying? They cannot even vote. They've been punished the rest of their life. For he says, yeah, I did it, but I was misguided. I was lost. Not only that, I paid for it because I've been away for how long? For decades. I left my own home. فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ. And I ran away from you when I was worried about what you might do to me. In this absence, in this time, فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. وَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا. Allah then, He gave me guidance. Allah, my Lord, granted me wisdom and made me one of His messengers. Musa alayhi salam said, yeah, I did it. I ran away. But as I was absent all of these years, Allah sent me back to you, made me a messenger, a prophet. I'm a different man now. Who a man look like this in America? He's not a prophet, but who the man look like this? Huh? Malcolm X. Malcolm X went to prison as a person who committed a crime, come out of the prison what? As a person now bringing people to Islam, to justice, talking about fairness, defending human rights. You know what I'm saying? For Musa alayhi salam, telling him that that's my past. Say, that's true, but I'm a different person now. Not a different person only, I'm a messenger of God. You forgive me, not only forgive me, but make me a messenger. Then he said to him something very interesting. Because he said, أَلَمُ رَبِّكَ فِينَا وَلِيدًا. How Musa alayhi salam end up in Pharaoh's house? Why? أيها الناس. How? Huh? His mother was worried about Fir'aun killing him and throw him into the water. And Allah said to her, I'm going to send him to the enemy of him, of his enemy and my enemy. That's how he ended up there. Fir'aun said, I raise you. Musa said to him, alayhi salam, you didn't go and ask my mother, can I take care of your boy? Can I It didn't happen this way, man. You got me because of your oppressions. And he said what he said to him. وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ عَلَىٰ أَنْ عَبَّدْتَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. And how can that be a favor of which you remind me when it was only because you have enslaved the children of Israel? Get my point? You telling me you did me a favor? I end up in your palace because you took life of the children of Bani Israel. My mother was worried about my life. That's why I end up in your palace. It's not because you are a charitable man, give every child in your kingdom a scholarship, or you want me to go to best legal university. No, I end up in your house because of your action. Okay. Now, Bismillah. Can I be controversial a little bit with you? I'm being recorded. This is the colonizer. British said to Sudanese, we taught you, we gave you the Khartoum University. The France said to Algerian, we gave you universities. We built your country for you. We made the railway. You did all of that to take our goods at the time. You did that all of it to enslave us. You didn't do it because you love us like poor African. Let's help them. We need to give them the university here. We need to build the railway. You didn't do it for us. You know what I'm saying? تلك نعمة تمنها علي أن عبدت بني إسرائيل. You have not colonization have not done any favor to anybody. They didn't. They killed millions of people. You get my point? You cannot claim the credit that you did something good after you killed so many people. Yes. No. Okay. No, you can ask the questions. And I'm sorry that I offended a British guy. Yeah. Okay.
Son and the grandson of people that were under British occupation.
Okay.
So my father was born under British occupation.
Subhanallah.
My grandfather went to university under British occupation.
Subhanallah.
These universities were built so we could be the middle level management to suppress the rest of the country.
Exactly.
They were these universities. So our universities were destroyed and were replaced with them so they could get low-level people to do their dirty work for them. And as you said with the trains, it was they could steal the gold, steal the loot, and get it efficiently back to Liverpool.
Absolutely.
That was the port that they preferred.
Yes.
Again, this is not for this cause, but people should know. You will cry when you find out what happened. And even now, there are people with the same skin color as us that are saying the nonsense about trains and universities. The oldest university in the world is in Fez, Morocco.
That's true.
France, not in UK.
Absolutely. The Muslim built one of the oldest universities, Al-Qarawin, and then built one of the oldest universities called Al-Azhar in Cairo. And we built so many civilizations, you know. Therefore, this idea of decolonization is real, that how people not to think that colonization was a good thing. Never. No one should sugarcoat and put like makeup in colonization. Yeah. So Musa alayhi salam said, don't give me this argument. You said to me, I raise you, I help you, you stayed in my palace because my people were enslaved. Then Fir'aun asked a question. He said, and by the way, this is the argument in the same surah, in other surah also, but in this surah here. Fir'aun now, after Musa alayhi salam, like, not to use this argument anymore, it doesn't fly, we raise you, and so forth. He said, forget about that. Don't talk to me about this anymore. Talk to me about the message I'm asking you. I'm telling you to worship Allah alone. What do you think about the message? Then he's saying, قال فرعون وما رب العالمين. Fir'aun says, and he asks, and what is the Lord of the all worlds? Who that? Musa alayhi salam replied, He is the Lord of the heavens and the earth and everything between and everything in between, and if you only you had sure faith, if you were to believe in this. Why he said رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين? Why he said heaven and earth? Huh? Size? Great sign, yes. Look into the universe. Fir'aun, why Fir'aun he claimed to be the Lord? To whom? To people of Egypt. قال أليس لي ملك مصر? Don't I have the dominion of Egypt? Not the world. وهذه الأنهار تجري من تحتي. The Nile running because of my command. أنا ربكم الأعلى. طيب, Musa alayhi salam took him from little Egypt to the universe. He said, my Lord, he owns the entire universe, not Egypt only. You know, I told you this before. I want you to reflect on this. A person who is a president or a king of a land, how big this land is now in the map of the world? There's a person who's a president and the king of the entire world today? One person? No. طيب, even if there's one person, the whole humanity answers to that person as a human being. How much his kingdom? 29% of the land, of the earth. Like ruling. The land, territory, 75% of this earth is what? Is water. You are not the king of the fish. You're not the king of COVID-19. You're not the king of the bacteria, of germs, of birds, of sand, of galaxies, of the jungle. You are not. Therefore, this idea of enlarging people, you know, heard this concept, this person larger than life? This idea of power and domination, being dominant and so forth, is an illusion compared to the power of God Almighty. What do we own? Right? There's two types of threats to power. You ready for that? Two things threat every power. Two things. You know what are they? Death, number one. A person who had the power would die. If that threat can be prevented, Ya Sheikh Omar, can any person, no matter how much money they have, how much power they may have, how mighty army they may have, can they prevent death come to them? No, they're going to die. Am I correct? The first bad news. Death is a sentence that Allah have issued for all humanity. The second threat for money and power, if the power is still being taken from a person who is alive, no longer somebody else come and take the power. Because it doesn't remain in one hand. Either by death or by exchange. They exchange hands. وتلك الأيام نداولها بين الناس. Two sunnah, two social laws impact every power. One is called سنة الأجل. لكل أجل كتاب. Period. Everything have expiration date. Death coming gonna happen. Or سنة التداول. Allah take it from one hand to give it to somebody else. وتلك الأيام نداولها بين الناس. Those two things are the threat to any power, whether financial power or physical power. Either Allah take the person of the power or take the power away from the person. Am I correct? Agreed? If you believe in that, don't worry about who's claiming what. Because always there's a threat. You know, in strategic thinking, they want you to minimize the threat and to address the weaknesses. But there's certain things you can unavoidable. كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه. Every person will die. فأدروا عن أنفسكم كان a person أينما تكون يدرككم الموت ولو كنت في بروج مشيدة. Even in this big forest and strong places and have all the power, death is going to come in. The angel of death never take permission. There's one thing for sure. We're not able to check the ID of the angel of death. You know what I'm saying? You cannot enter here. It's going to happen. You have 1 minute for questions. Because Sheikh Ismail look into the clock. Huh? Allah bless you. 1 minute for question, Bismillah. No question? Yes. Musa alayhi salam. In all the dialogue that you see, Musa alayhi salam was speaking. Musa alayhi salam want Harun to be next to him because it would help him to speak fluently. The support Musa alayhi salam get. But Harun alayhi salam could say to him, by the way, you need to say this instead of this. You know? Helping him in conveying the message. Right. Subhanallah.